Well, thanks so much for stopping by today. It's real nice to see you, and welcome to this episode of Barlow BBQ. Now today I'm going to be doing one of my favorite cuts of beef on the grill, and that is picanha. Now, if you're not familiar with what picanha is, it's actually a cut that's popular in Brazil and Portugal. And here in the States, it may be a little bit difficult to find in the stores, but what you're looking for is a top sirloin cap. Now the whole recipe is super simple. We're just going to hit it with a little bit of seasoning, which in this case is just going to be some salt and pepper, and then we're going to smoke it indirect on my Weber kettle grill until it hits an internal temp of around 130 to 135. We're looking for a doneness on this of a medium to medium rare. So here it is. Here is the picanha, and as you can see here, you got a fat cap on top and then the meat underneath. So we're going to leave this fat cap on, and I've already went ahead and I made some cross hatch slices on the top of this, and we're going to start off by getting some salt and pepper in the top of this fat right here. Just going to go ahead and pour a little kosher salt right on top. Just rub that in. And we've got a little black pepper we're going to do the same thing with. A little breezy out here today, so this a little hard to get this seasoning to stay on the meat and not get blown everywhere. All right, so we got the top, we got the fat cap there. Let's flip this over. And what we're going to do now is, here's where the magic starts, because you don't just throw this on the grill just like any old steak. It's very different. What we're going to do now is we're going to take this and we're going to slice this into three separate steaks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the grain. You can kind of see the grain going this way. So I'm going to cut this lengthwise into about 3 equal-ish steaks. Okay, there we have our 3 steaks. And as you can see, you've got that fat cap on the top. And so what we're going to do with these is we're going to fold them like this, and we're going to skewer them right on this skewer. And then we're going to lay them on the indirect side of the grill and let them smoke until they hit the doneness we're looking for. Okay, so then when you slice it, you're going to slice it, actually to serve it, you're going to slice it this way, and you're going to get a nice bit of that fat with every bite. And that fat right there, folks, is the best part of this picanha, in my opinion. Well, this meat is oh so good as well. All right, so now let's get these seasoned up with some kosher salt. I'm just going to dump it on there. So we're just going to roll these all around in the salt. Get them all nice and covered. So now we're going to take one of these steaks and roll it up. It's kind of like a little jelly roll there. And we're going to take our skewer and we're going to press it right through the top of that fat cap. And we want to get that through the center of that steak. We have to press just to get it going. There she goes. And right through the bottom. Just like that. Okay, we're going to do that with the other 2 here. There we go. And number 3. And we got 1 more to go. Okay, so these are all set. Now I'm going to go ahead and just set these in the fridge until we're ready to put these on the grill. The picanha has been in the fridge now for about an hour, so I think it's time to fire up this grill. Now I'm going to be using a mix of charcoal briquettes and hardwood lump charcoal because I want to get a hot fire going in there. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be doing the picanha indirect, so it's going to be on the opposite side of where the fire is. If we're going to grill those over direct heat, that thick fat cap on those steaks would just completely, it would just ruin everything. It would just create a big grease fire and just ruin the whole thing. So you don't want that. So indirect grilling is the way to go with these steaks. Now, you do want to get that fat to render, so you want to get a hot fire going. So I've got a little charcoal chimney back there, and I've got that filled about 3/4 of the way with a mix of the hardwood lump charcoal and the charcoal briquettes. Let's take a closer look. So here's how I got the kettle set up for today's cook. The charcoal, once it's lit, is going to be going over here in the slow-ins here, which is essentially this giant charcoal basket. So that's where the fire's going to be. And then I'm going to have the cooking grate on here, and the meat's actually going to be on this side over here where this chimney is. That should be ready in about 10-15 minutes. And for this picanha, I'm going for a grill temp of around, probably I'm shooting for 300 degrees or maybe a little bit more. Like I said, I want it nice and hot in there, so it'll give it a chance for that fat to render down. It's not going to take long at all for these picanha steaks to get done. Again, we're shooting for a doneness of a medium to medium rare, but I don't want to push it much past medium. So these steaks aren't going to take long at all. They're going to take maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. So let's give this charcoal a little bit to get going, and I'll meet you back out here when it's time to get the picanha on. All right, we got the charcoal on and the grill is fired up and ready to go, and we're looking at a grill temp of around 300 to 350 degrees right now. I think that's going to be perfect for the picanha, so let's get it on. All right, so I'm going to place this picanha with the fat cap facing the fire there. I'll get the lid on. And it's pretty easy from here on out, folks. We're just going to let this smoke indirect until it hits an internal temp of between 128 and 130. And we're going to flip it every about 5 minutes until we hit that temp that we're looking for. Then we'll take it off and let it rest for about 5 to 10 minutes. So I'll see you back here in 5 minutes when it's time to flip the picanha. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. Let's open up the grill and flip this picanha. Okay, let's give it another 5 minutes. We're back. It's been another 5 minutes. Total cooking time up to this point has been 10 minutes. Let's flip this picanha, and I think I'm going to do a little temp check as well. These aren't even cracking 100 degrees yet, so they definitely have some time. Let's get the lid on and give them another 5 minutes. Oop, switched up angles on you. It's been another 5 minutes. Total cooking time up to this point, 15 minutes. Let's check on that picanha. I think what I'm going to do for this flip, just for the heck of it, I'm going to flip it so the fat cap is facing this way. Huh? Just like that. Now, since I'm here, I'm going to do a quick temp check. I really don't want this picanha to get away from me. I really want to try my best to pull it before it hits 130 degrees. Showing about 110. That one's pretty close right there. Whoop. These smaller ones are about done. Let's see this middle one here. Yeah, these are getting close. I'll give them another 5 minutes here. Well, you guessed it. It's been another 5 minutes. And let's see, I think the total cooking time has been 20 minutes. Let's check on this picanha. All right, let's take a temp on these, see how they're doing. Let's try the little small ones here. These are probably wrapped up as far as I'm concerned. Yep, a little over on those ones. Still gonna be good. Let's check back here in the thick part. Got 140 there. Let's check the thickest part of this one. Hey, look at that, 128. You know, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call it, folks. I'm gonna take these off, cover them in a little bit of foil, tin them with foil, and then let them rest for about 5 minutes. And we'll come back here and do a taste test. Well, all right, my friends, the time has arrived. Cheers. I'm real excited to slice up this picanha and try a little bit with you guys at home. So yeah, this is a different cut of beef that I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. No searing on this. You don't want to sear these steaks because of this fat cap. And another really unique part of this recipe is the way that you slice it in order to serve it. And I'm just going to try to do my best here. I'm going to just slice it right down the side here. It might be a little awkward on camera. I'm going to try to get, you know what, to make it easy, let's just go with this one right here. I can cut some other ones off camera here. But we're just going to start off by just slicing. Let's move these down a little bit. There we go. Just got to grab a hold of it. There we go. And you're just going to slice it off just like that. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. I tell you what, each slice is going to have that fat cap on there, and like I said earlier, that fat cap is some of the best part of this, in my opinion. Would you just check that out? Beautiful. Look at that. This is going to be real good. Plenty of juices flowing out of there. Let me try to get a little slice down here. Look at that. That looks gorgeous. You just flip it around and you just keep slicing. Just like that, y'all. All right. You get the gist of it. Let's move these slices up here. Look at that. Huh? This is going to be so good. That fat right there is going to be out of this world, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and finish slicing this up, and I'll meet you all back here for a little taste test, and I'll really let you know how good it is. Well, all right, here comes the moment of truth. Let's see how this picanha turned out. Ooh, I'll tell you what, that is real good, y'all. However, I will say, I'll admit, I did over salt it. I used a little bit too much kosher salt, a little bit too salty. So you at home, if you try this out, use a little bit less kosher salt, okay? But other than that, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Flavor is terrific. I mean, there's something about this cut of beef, the picanha, that has a unique flavor to it. It's really good. Some might say it's gamey, but I'm used to gamey. I grew up on venison, so it doesn't bother me. But it's a really good beefy flavor, especially with that fat in there. The fat rendered out really nice, so it just melts in your mouth when you take a bite of the steak. The steak is tender and juicy. Didn't overcook it. I pulled it at just the right time, thankfully, for once when I'm making a video. So yeah, really happy with this. And I'll leave a recipe right down below with the process of how I did this. So if you want to try this at home, I really recommend it, especially if you've never tried picanha before. And here in the States, again, what you're going to look for is a top sirloin cap. Once again, I'll have all the info right down below in the description box below this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and taking time out of your day to do so. I really appreciate it. The sun is setting here in Southwest Florida, so I'm going to bid you all adieu. Good night, good day to you, whatever it may be, wherever you're watching. Love you, and until next time, smoke 'em if you got 'em. Bye-bye.